I find it very funny. Are you still free falling?
For those who don't know, I'm actually a Singaporean, and on 9th of August every year, we celebrate our National Day with a passion. One of the events that interests me the most has to be the Red Lions. The Red Lions comprises of a team of parachutists with at least 1,000 jumps in their record. This year, they're supposed to jump and land in the heartland of Bishan Park. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, that event has since been cancelled off. For someone who is enthusiastic as me, this is a huge disappointment, and I went all length to try to replicate that experience of someone jumping and landing right in Bishan Park. Meet the Paradummy. The Paradummy is a 3D printed model that I've printed and painted to the Red Lions uniform color. It is suspended by fishing line to this boomstick design that comprises of some 3D printed parts and ice cream stick, all glued together by epoxy so that it will not fly off in a mid-flight. As much as I want to, I cannot put a fake parachute over this thing because that will throw the flight characteristic of this drone off, and that risks me crashing and destroying all that I've built up. And to complete with it, I've installed red and white propellers just so that I can bring up the atmosphere and the color theme of this racing quad. The drone's frame is actually designed locally by my friend Ben, and it is called Black Noise. It carries a full-size GoPro 9 and is capable of doing all the flips and flops through all your freestyle and racing events. Now, if you have never printed anything on a 3D printer, you may assume that it is as simple as printing something on your inkjet printer, but it is not. I mean, take a look at this box of failed prints. This is what I accumulated in less than a month. And inside you can already see quite a few of the Paradummy that has failed during the print. Getting the dimension right is also a big challenge most of the time. For example, this is a toy that I'm designing for my kid, and it's supposed to fit the ball through, but it didn't. And this means 14 hours of printing just went into prototyping. But eventually I've got the Paradummy printed properly and it was ready to hit the sky. But as Murphy's Law suggests, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I broke the arm of the 3D printed model on the first test flight. I was devastated, but I was able to convince myself then that I could just use some black tape to tape it all up together and it worked just fine. In case you're wondering, it looks horrible. But it gets worse from here, because in order for the model to fly on a drone properly, the model has to be kept light. And this means that it is subjected to the wind very easily. So this means I have to fly the drone really slowly. But for those who never flew one of this kind of drone before, you may not understand how difficult it is to just control this fully manual craft in the air at slow speed. It is very difficult. And we're still on the topic of Murphy's Law, right? As I was inserting my GoPro into the mounting, my finger accidentally pressed and hold and activated the focus lock. This means that GoPro is now focused on ISO 800 and is not going to change the ISO no matter how bright or how dark it is. And this is a problem for a bright and clear day. My footage looks like this. I mean, what could be worse, right? Well, as I was flying across this big river in the park, my drone decides to disconnect itself. In the drone world, we call that fail-saved. Well, blessing in disguise, there is this island in the middle of the river, and my drone just landed right smack into that thick vegetation there. Oh my god, I dropped the quad right into the middle of that island. This is horrible, and now we have people looking at it. Maybe they spotted. Do you think they spot my drone? The river is actually surrounded by hundreds of huge tilapia fish, and not to mention that the plants at the banks of this river made it almost impossible to retrieve the drone. I searched for a good 15 minutes and I could not find anything. This is when my friend Kelvin decides to join in the search. So there's this island in the middle and Kelvin just went up. Did you manage to find it?
Somewhere around here.
Oh man.
Hey!
What? You sure? Alright, man! Alright, coming safe today! We're really lucky that it hasn't been raining for the past entire week and the water level was really low. I won't be surprised that tiny island sitting in the middle of the river will be partially submerged in the river water. So we decided to reorg and come back another day. But Murphy's Law seems to be stuck with us. I have no idea what is going on. We checked the weather forecast. The weather forecast says there will be light showers in the early afternoon. We're there at 7 a.m. and the storm cloud was forming. And because we failed to get any nice and usable footages in our last few sessions, I told my friends, you know what, we're short on time and we really need to get this done. Otherwise, we might as well just celebrate it post the actual day. And then I issue my famous last word, capture what we can. It didn't turn out well. Because after that, we flew a few packs in the air and the storm cloud came in really fast. The footages end up looking really gloomy and sad. I mean, that is a complete different picture for celebrating your national's birthday. It looks really sad in those footages we shot. Making it worse, it rained. We were caught in the rain, our equipment got soaked, and I told my friends, let's give up. We left the place really sad because this is not a 1 week off project or a weekend project. I spent over a month on this, from designing how I should suspend the 3D model, how I should be flying it, and etc, all the little details. And things just got in the way every single time. But you know what? It seems like this whole thing, this whole experience is trying to convey some kind of message, some kind of story to me. It's like, Vinnie, this is basically the Singapore's story. Your pioneer went through a lot of hardship. They put in a lot of hard work to build the country up. And this is what you're going through. You went through a lot of setbacks during the process of building up, making this video, but you fight through and eventually it will prevail. And it did, because that evening, the sun came brilliantly bright and nice, the sky was clear blue, and I have just one last battery left in my bag. And I went to the park. And I flew the most perfect pack of flying with this model ever. Just as the song of this year's NDP suggests, we did it before, we'll do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the world's smallest red lion.
Take a little trip. Stand up, hook up, shuffle to the door. Jump right out at a count of 4. No sky too high, no reason why my people place their trust on me. Going tonight, 40,000 high, wings open for honor and glory. One day I will fly way up in the sky, soaring through the clouds with you in mind. One day I will jump and land where I fight. I'm the leader of the pack. One day I will fly way up in the sky, soaring through the clouds with you in mind. One day I will jump and land where I fight. I'm the leader of the pack. Follow me.
Today we have Shuan here to share with us her experience doing tandem parachuting. So for most of us, we have never been on a parachute. The closest one we've been on is probably in PUBG, right?
Oh,
Yeah. So Shuan, can you share with us how's your experience going through on a parachute?
But firstly, don't have alone fly one. Need somebody behind you to control the thing. You seldom have control of it.
The tandem jump, right?
Yeah. Unless you have license lah. Yeah.
And how do you compare this video to your experience when doing the tandem jump?
They don't have up down one. You cannot fly up yourself. It's just down.
I've also got Ken here online who did parachuting when he was in the army, just to know how difficult it is to control the parachute while it is still in the air.
Definitely the flow is not like that. You don't really glide like what you're doing, basically like flying a drone around the place. In my experience, I mean, even for static jump, it's also not easy. And then the wind condition plays a big role in where we land, I think. So no two jumps are the same. Let's put it this way.
Okay, I get it. I know what you're thinking. Vinny, how can you call this a National Days celebration video when it's just a little model flying around the park and pretending to be a red lion? I get it. So I know what to do, and let's hit it home with our flag flying high. I want to thank everyone for helping me out with this video. You know who you are. And I also want to thank Kelvin and Lionel for helping me out with the drone footages. Without them, those flight footages that you see will not be possible. And you can also head over to Lionel's YouTube channel to watch this whole thing from a different perspective. Link below. I also want to thank my family and especially my wife for enduring my endless 3D printing process and the interruption to our morning sleep cycle for going into Bishan Park and fly. If you like my video, do remember to hit the subscribe button below and let me know in the comment which do you think is the most interesting element of this video. Is it the 3D printing, or is it the drone footages, or the original song I wrote in honor of the Red Lions? I'm Vinny and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!